Before starting the analysis, place the test tubes containing the R1 reagent into the incubation cells to warm up for at least 5 minutes. Also place an added cuvette of R1 in order to carry out the reading of the reactive blank. Then, select the desired test from the menu. Select on the display the cuvette for the reactive blank reading. Gently shake the cuvette 2 to 3 times by inversion and place it in the reading cell, indicated by the blue light. Then press Next to start the reactive blank reading. Put the reactive blank cuvette back in the incubation cell. Then, select on the display the cuvette to be analyzed. As necessary, add now, with the CDR Easy Pipette, 5 microliters of sample to the cuvette containing R1 reactive. Remember to set the pipette at 5 microliters. Before performing the withdrawal, flush the pipette tip 2 to 3 times. To this end, press the piston, dip the tip in the sample, release the piston, and pull the pipette out. Then, place the sample on absorbent paper by pressing the piston and by gently swiping the tip of the paper. Repeat the flushing 2 to 3 times before proceeding to the final withdrawal of 5 microliters of sample. To this end, press the piston, dip the tip in the sample, release the piston, and pull the pipette out. Dry the tip well with clean absorbent paper. During this operation, be careful to avoid placing the tip perpendicular to the absorbent paper to avoid reducing the sample volume accidentally. To release the sample in the cuvette, dip the tip in the liquid, press the piston several times, then, by holding the piston firmly down, pull the pipette out. Recap the cuvette. Gently shake the cuvette 2 to 3 times by inversion and place it in the reading cell, indicated by the blue light. Then press Next. At the end of the reading, if you have other samples to analyze, you can select a new cuvette and repeat the procedure. Otherwise, press Stop. As necessary, add now 10 microliters of R2 to the cuvette of the reactive blank. Remember to always use a new tip for each withdrawal to avoid the contamination of samples and reagents used for the analyses. For the withdrawal of R2, press the piston of the pipette all the way to the bottom. Dip the tip in the liquid, gently release the piston, and then pull the pipette out. For the release, bring the tip to the opening of the cuvette without dipping it into the liquid. Then press the piston all the way down to release the R2, making sure not to touch the sides of the cuvette. Recap the cuvette, gently shake it 2 to 3 times by inversion, and place it back in an incubation cell. Add now 10 microliters of R2 to the cuvette containing R1 plus sample. Repeat in the same way the withdrawal and the release to add the R2 to the cuvette containing R1 plus sample. Recap the cuvette, gently shake it 2 to 3 times by inversion, and place it back in an incubation cell. Then press Start to start the timer. Following 3 minutes of incubation, press Next. Gently shake the reactive blank cuvette 2 to 3 times and place it in the reading cell, indicated by the blue light. Then press Next to start the photometric reading. At the end of the reading, remove the reactive blank cuvette. Then shake 2 to 3 times the cuvette to be analyzed and place it in the reading cell, indicated by the blue light. Then press Next to start the photometric reading. At the end of the reading, the result is immediately displayed and printed.